Not me. I wouldn't do that to him. I wouldn't send nobody. To this day, nobody came up to me and told me, yo, Joe, we cut him in the face. We took care of him for you. That dude right there would have serious problems with me.
We can't erase the past.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we move to the future. I mean, we can't erase the past.
Right.
This dude, a liar. I can't explain why a liar wants to lie. I tell you, see the Biggie story he's talking about? Yeah, he said he got an album with Biggie. The straight lie.
Let me tell you why I say this to you.
I'm a God-fearing man. I never go against my God. If he's really converted and he's really in church, tell the truth, my nigga, now.
And he said that he wants just an apology. You can't do that? Like, as in...
Are you serious?
No, I'm asking you.
Why would I give him an apology after what he put my family through and what he did legally?
Mm-hmm.
Fat Joe, a Bronx pioneer, a chart-topping rapper, a man who helped bring Latino hip-hop to the mainstream. But behind the music lies another story, one filled with violence, betrayal, lawsuits, and disturbing allegations. From lifelong feuds with Cuban Link and Big Pun's family, to his recent $20 million in exploitation lawsuit. This is Surviving Fat Joe, the untold story from his birth in 1970 to the controversies that haunt him today. Joseph Antonio Cartagena was born on August 19th, 1970 in the South Bronx. The Bronx of the 1970s was chaos, crime, fires, gangs, and drugs. Joe grew up in the Forest Houses projects, surrounded by survival of the fittest energy. As a teen, he admitted he was already in the streets hustling. I was out there robbing, stealing, but hip-hop gave me a way out, Joe said.
Some controversy with Fat Joe. Now that 300 joint is out.
Controversy with Fat Joe, huh?
And we love you for it because you
fuck
keep
you tell him. And I tell him all to suck my
By the late 1980s, Joe had begun rapping under the name Fat Joe the Gangster.
You know where you stepping to? This is Fat Joe for Gangster.
In 1993, Joe dropped Represent with the underground hit Flow Joe. It gave him credibility, but his biggest move came in 1995 when he discovered a Puerto Rican rapper named Christopher Rios. Big Pun.
I discovered Big Pun, but Big Pun taught me. So I used to sit there with him and he'd be disrespecting me like, yeah. For him being my little brother, he'd be like, you're limited. You give up easy. Go all the way. 16 means 16.
With Joe's backing, Pun became the first Latino rapper to go platinum in 1998 with Capital Punishment. Together, Joe, Pun, and their crew, Terror Squad, put the Bronx back on the hip-hop map.
And our crew is family-oriented, you know. Everybody got their shape. I mean, Pun right now is the biggest cat on Terror Squad right now, you understand? But, you know, when it comes down to the family dispute, you know, we listen to Prospect, whose album ain't coming out till maybe next year. You know, he got biggest say-so too, you know what I mean? And we listen to everybody. We keep family. We got a family. We got a tight unit. Not like other rap crews I see that they ain't with it like that, you know what I mean? We family for real.
On February 7th, 2000, Big Pun died of a heart attack at just 28 years old. For Joe, it was the loss of his best friend and his right-hand man. But Pun's death didn't just leave hole in music. It set the stage for years of bitterness and betrayal.
A bunch of people have been calling, and I'm so sorry to say that the rumors are true and that it is true that we lost Big Pun this afternoon to a heart attack.
After Pun's death, Cuban Link was expected to carry the torch. His debut album, 24K, was ready, but then everything collapsed. According to Cuban, Fat Joe deliberately shelved the project, using his influence to block deals and silence him. He claimed Joe called radio stations to stop playing his songs, warned industry execs not to work with him, and ultimately blackballed him out of the rap game.
You know what I'm saying? And who's the guy? What are you talking about?
It's Cuban, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, yo, so, you know.
He keeps coming up in
No,
records?
listen, we playing old Fat Joe, old Pun, and just now. So we had to forward 2 or 3 times.
It's gonna be a
Like, no, if Joe walks through.
What
Would you have been upset if you would have walked in on it?
I don't like to hear him.
So you would have been upset. So you would have.
No, I wouldn't be upset. It's just he's a bum.
Switch the subject. Just the music. I was just, damn, I didn't know this was going to go there.
Yeah, you did.
I get more mad about what he did to Pun. That $500,000 was supposed to go in each of our pockets. Ours now, because now he got to put it out there that he gave us the money, which we know that he never gave us the shit.
I spent $1.8 million on this project. The nigga had Pink on his album, DMX. Every nigga you name, I was paying the Neptunes for his shit. I bought him a house before I even owned the house. I bought him an NSX because I couldn't fit in it. Now I took care of this nigga better than I took care of myself.
You lying piece of shit.
The tension boiled over in 2001 at Jimmy's Bronx Cafe. Cuban Link got into a violent fight with members of Terror Squad. In the chaos, someone slashed his face with a bottle, leaving him with over 30 stitches.
The problem is, me and him had a conversation after he got his face cut. And what he told me was, Joe, I know you would never do this to me. Ever in your life would you ever, there's no question I know you ain't do this.
It was crazy. She just texted me what she already told me, who she really did sleep with. But I ain't gonna expose that shit, but it wasn't that nigga.
The rumor was that you was sleeping with his wife.
No,
that's what the rumor was. That's why that went down like that. So I'm asking you.
Oh, no, this nigga,
from one man to the next.
Remember, that nigga Joe is not a stupid motherfucker. He knows how to play every level of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely something you would throw out there in the street to make a nigga say, yo, yeah, he deserved that. And, you know, I heard another rumor of me sleeping with Pun's wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, stupid shit except the truth. I heard every rumor in the world except the truth.
Cuban blamed Fat Joe's camp, saying Joe allowed the attack to happen. Joe denied orchestrating it. But the scars, physical and emotional, were permanent. From that moment, Cuban Link vowed never to forgive him. To see more content like this, please remember to subscribe. In 2004, Fat Joe dissed 50 Cent by siding with Ja Rule on the track New York. 50 responded with a Scorched Earth campaign, mocking Joe in songs, music videos, and even clowning him live at the MTV VMA Awards.
I like to tell the people home, I feel so safe tonight with all this police protection courtesy of G Unit. Fat Joe is man.
At one award show, their entourages nearly brawled backstage. The feud was ugly, but compared to the betrayals with Cuban Link and Pun's family, it was just another rap beef.
And he said that he wants just an apology. You can't do that? Like, as in...
Are you serious?
No, I'm asking you.
Why would I give him an apology after what he put my family through and what he did legally?
Was it legally? Like, how?
You know what? Can we stop this for a second?
Yeah.
I'm leaving this interview.
What?
Because this is like a whole Fat Joe situation now.
No.
While Joe fought rap wars, Big Pun's family was struggling to survive.
I was telling her that, oh no, he owed me money. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, a bunch of fake royalty statements started to come saying, you know, you're in debt, you're in debt, you're in debt, you're in debt. And then for about 14 years, from about 2000 to 2014, fake royalty statements was coming.
2000 to 2014?
Yeah, fake royalty statements were coming. I called her up, told her I paid for the case, paid for the auditor, took him to court. You know, Joe was all over the radio basically saying, I gave her $750,000. I gave her $250,000. I told the bitch, enough's enough. Everybody bought it and believed it. You know, he had the big platform. He could call Envy or all these people and go in their radio station and be like, look, she's lying. And, you know, she can't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was like DMing her, bitch, get a job. He got you money for a hair salon, all this stuff. It's all lies. And mediation, we had him admit that he never gave her a dollar in his life.
Pun's widow, Lisa Rios, said Fat Joe promised to look after the family. But by 2005, the money stopped. She claimed Joe withheld royalties while she and her kids faced homelessness. In interviews, Liza described selling Pun's chains and memorabilia just to survive.
We're in a situation right now that we're in a city shelter. So basically, it's been very hard for them to transition, you know, and dealing with it. But
So how did we go from the where you were to the
Well,
Philly
basically after Pun passed, I didn't really receive a lot of money.
In 2014, Lisa filed a $1 million lawsuit accusing Joe of breach of contract and failing to pay what was owed. Joe fired back saying he had paid everything and that labels, not him, controlled most of the money. He called the lawsuit baseless. But public perception wasn't in his favor. Fans questioned why Pun's widow and kids were struggling while Joe continued living a life of luxury.
I mean, I feel sorry for him because if he could see what's been going on, he would be heartbroken. He would be totally heartbroken because not only that, you know, he not only that he loved his family, you know, us and the kids, and he loved his music, but he loved Joe and the squad, and that was his heart. So for him to give so much to them and give so much to Terror Squad and make Terror Squad what it was, because he made it what it was, you know, and put all that effort and everything, and then at the end for them to just, you know, and his demise and his passing, for them to turn their backs on his family, his kids, you know.
The feud wasn't just in court. Liza often went on record criticizing Joe. She accused him of skipping Pun's memorials, claimed he tried to erase Pun's legacy while profiting from his name, and said she only got Pun's catalog rights back because the courts forced Joe to return them. The bitterness between Liza and Joe has never healed.
Joe wants that apology. I looked at the paperwork myself. I looked at not all of it. I didn't have all of it. But from what I've seen, it was the standard shit. It was just the standard.
Joe wants me to apologize to him for me going after what was rightfully my family's. He is responsible for over $2.3 million in royalties that was never paid to Pun. It's all in the court papers, all public info.
In the middle of these disputes, Joe faced his own legal trouble. In 2012, he pled guilty to tax evasion after failing to pay taxes on more than $3 million. In 2013, he served 4 months in federal prison. It was his only criminal conviction, but it deepened the narrative of Joe being untrustworthy with money. To see more content like this, please remember to subscribe. Despite the controversies, Joe revived his career in the mid-2000s. In 2016, he scored one of the biggest hits of his career with All the Way Up, alongside Remy Ma. But disputes never stayed buried. In 2021, Joe announced he had given back Big Pun's catalog to the family as a gesture of respect.
Erase the past.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we move to the future. I mean, we can't erase the past.
Right.
Lisa Rios quickly corrected him. He didn't give it back. The courts made him for fans. It was proof. Then the wounds of the past still hadn't healed.
That he robbed a whole gym. A Bronx school gym. The Bronx. Some of these might just be exaggerations. Because I'm pretty sure he probably robbed maybe 1 or 2. Because I knew dudes that I went to school with like that. But 70? Come on.
And they asked me the question, yo, Joe, what you think about Tupac and all that? I said, yo, he's cool, but you know, if they step to me, it's gonna be Tupac's locked up upstate in New York. The Puerto Ricans hear that, and they're, Poppy, Tupac got beef with Fat Joe. Greg Nice, who pretty much put me in the game, one of my brothers, he said, yo, Joe, I got Pac on the other line. I was like, Pac? I was like, yo, these Puerto Ricans is on me. Like, you said something in the radio. I don't got a problem with you, Joe. Like this, I know what's up, this. And so, you know, we sent the kite out to the Puerto Ricans and be like, nah.
I know he got strength with Puerto Ricans, his people. But as far as Tupac being in prison, having to call Joe to keep the Puerto Ricans off his back because they think that he got beef with Joe in the street or some, I don't know about that.
Then came the darkest chapter of all. In 2025, Joe's former hype man, Terrence T.A. Dixon, filed a $20 million civil lawsuit. The allegations were shocking.
Rapper Fat Joe is facing explosive allegations in a $20 million lawsuit filed by his former hype man, Terrence Dixon. The 157-page complaint, which includes a trigger warning due to graphic details, accuses the artist of manipulation, racketeering, and years of abuse behind his music empire.
Dixon claims Joe forced him into over 4,000 acts over a 16-year period. He alleges Joe used intimidation, manipulation, and surveillance to control him. And most disturbing, the lawsuit accuses Joe of having flying them out, showering them with gifts, and exploiting them. The filing describes an environment of coercion, threats, and abuse of power.
Dixon alleges Fat Joe, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in year-old girls and even plotted to have rapper 50 Cent killed.
Fat Joe denied everything. His attorney, Joe Tacopina, called it a fabrication and an extortion attempt. Joe even filed a defamation countersuit against Dixon. But the lawsuit has already damaged Joe's reputation. Headlines branded him with words no artist ever wants attached to their name: predator, abuser, manipulator. As of now, the case is ongoing. No verdict has been reached.
It's looking very similar to the Sean Combs case in that it could spur on a criminal investigation into the coercion, into these acts. There were third parties involved, which purportedly there were. Those witnesses need to be deposed and spoken to. You may have documentary evidence. You may have video evidence.
In a statement, attorney Joseph Tacopina says the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, which exposed their coordinated scheme to extort Mr. Cartagena through lies, threats, and manufactured allegations.
From his beginnings in the Bronx to platinum hits and hip-hop stardom, Fat Joe built a career few can deny. But the shadows behind the music tell another story. Cuban Link, who says Joe betrayed him and left him scarred. Big Pun's widow and children, who accuse Joe of abandoning them in poverty. And Terrence Dixon, who now claims years of abuse and exploitation. Fat Joe will always be remembered as a Bronx legend. But whether his legacy is that of an icon or a man people had to survive depends on how history and the courts judge him.
Joe like boys and girls, according to TA. He like boys and girls, according to this is the story of Fat Joe going to meet T-Mac on the block. Cause he didn't want Sean Campbell to do this interview.
I'm glad the beef with Fat Joe is over, man.
But was there ever a time you was beefing with somebody like, damn, we gotta beef with him?
I think Fat Joe, man. Them Spanish niggas from the Bronx, them niggas, man, are just crazy. The Dominican, Puerto Rican niggas, like, them niggas, when it come to certain niggas they love, they gonna go all the way. Like, if you like Pistol Pete, he was gonna go all the way. Like,
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into hip-hop's untold stories.